Right, so we'll move on and we'll move to Mom again, reading Under the Greenwood Tree.
Right. Well, this is
Oh,
edited
lovely.
because otherwise it would be rather long. So there might be a slight hesitation while I find my next place. I
Yeah.
hope it won't be too annoying. Right. Going the rounds. Shortly after 10 o'clock, the singing boys arrived at the tranter's house, which was invariably the place of meeting, and preparations were made for the start. The older men and musicians wore thick coats with stiff perpendicular collars and coloured handkerchiefs wound round and round the neck till the end came to hand, over all which they just showed their ears and noses, like people looking over a wall. The remainder, stalwart, ruddy men and boys, were dressed mainly in snow-white smock frocks, embroidered upon the shoulders and breasts in ornamental forms of hearts, diamonds, and zigzags. Georgia, do you remember seeing those in that museum that we went to somewhere? Those smocks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, shepherd smocks. They were
Yeah.
beautiful, weren't they? And that's
It was at the
oh well, yes.
where
Mum,
the
you
where
made
that
a,
Museum
you made a
of
puppet
Folk
with
of
one.
Life. It was in Sussex, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you made a puppet with one, Mum.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Or a doll. No.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Absolutely. It was lovely.
I must have given it away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. Much
Right.
to my chagrin.
Right. Sorry for that interruption, but I just thought it was interesting. The cider mug was emptied for the 9th time. The music books were arranged and the pieces finally decided upon. The boys in the meantime put the old horn lanterns in order, cut candles into short lengths to fit the lanterns, and a thin fleece of snow having fallen since the early part of the evening, those who had no leggings went to the stable and wound wisps of hay around their ankles to keep the insidious flakes from the interior of their boots. Old William Dewey with the violoncello. I don't know how you say that. Jerry probably knows better. Violoncello?
Sounds right to me.
Right, it's spelt like that, but it's just, we now use the abbreviated form, don't we? Just call it cello. Right, played the bass. His grandson Dick, the treble violin, and Reuben and Michael Mail, the tenor and second violins, respectively. The singers consisted of 4 men and 7 boys, upon whom devolved the task of carrying and attending to the lanterns and holding the books open for the players. Directly music was the theme, old William ever and instinctively came to the front. Now mind, neighbours, he said, as they all went out one by one at the door, he himself holding it ajar and regarding them with a critical face as they passed, like a shepherd counting out his sheep. You 2 counter boys, keep your ears open to Michael's fingering, and don't ye go straying into the treble part along a Dick and his set, as you did last year. And mind this especially when we be in Arise and Hail. Billy Chimnell, don't you sing quite so raving mad as you fain would. And all you, whatever you do, keep from making a great scuffle on the ground when we go in at people's gates, but go quietly so as to strike up all of a sudden like spirits. Just before the clock struck 12, they lighted the lanterns and started. Isn't 12 late to go carol singing? The moon in her 3rd quarter had risen since the snowstorm, but the dense accumulation of snow cloud had weakened her powers to a faint twilight, which was rather pervasive of the landscape than traceable into the sky. The breeze had gone down, and the rustle of their feet and tones of their speech echoed with an alert rebound from every post, boundary stone, and ancient wall they passed, even where the distance of the echo's origin was less than a few yards. Beyond their own slight noises, nothing was to be heard save the occasional bark of foxes in the direction of Yalbury Wood, or the brush of a rabbit among the grass now and then as it scampered out of their way. Most of the outlying homesteads and hamlets had been visited by about 2 o'clock. They then passed across the outskirts of a wooded park towards the main village, nobody being at home at the manor. Pursuing no recognised track, great care was necessary in walking, lest their faces should come into contact with the low-hanging boughs of the old lime trees, which in many spots form dense overgrowth of interlaced branches. By the time they were crossing to a gate in the direction of the school, which standing on a slight eminence at the junction of three ways, now rose in unvarying and dark flatness against the sky, the instruments were retuned, and all the band entered the school enclosure, enjoined by old William to keep upon the grass. Number 78, he softly gave out as they formed round in a semicircle, the boys opening the lanterns to get a clearer light and directing their rays on the books. Then passed forth into the quiet night an ancient and time-worn hymn, embodying a quaint Christianity in words orally transmitted from father to son through several generations, down to the present characters who sang them outright earnestly. That's the end.
Lovely.
Good.
Absolutely beautiful.
Very evocative.
Yeah.
I gather that in Eyam in Derbyshire,
Yes.
they still do the carolling after midnight.
Oh, does it really?
Because you're carolling on Christmas Day. You're carolling the Christmas Day in.
Yes, yeah.
You know, like the shepherds and the angels at the manger, you know. Like
Gets in
that.
the way of Father Christmas, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't see him. They'd be too busy
Yeah.
focusing on the music. No problem.
Yeah.
They're not looking in the sky, are they?
No, they wouldn't be looking on the.
He hasn't got a sledge radio, so he really appreciates it.
I love that picture of what obviously is the serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a serpent before.
And there's an instrument there that looks like a saxophone.
Is that where?
And I don't know if they were even invented.
Oh, yes, next to him, next to the man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they were invented when. So maybe there was an early instrument that
Yeah.
saxophone was a modern version of.
Yeah, quite likely, I should
It
think.
looks great.
Flugelhorn.
A couple of flugelhorn.
A flugelhorn, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a flugelhorn?
Yeah, that's a flugelhorn.
Is it?
Ah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I thought a flugelhorn was more trumpet-like, but
No, well, one of them's bent round. It's a Tudor instrument, isn't it? Bends round like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I might be wrong.
And
I'll look it up.
you're at the right-hand side, Jerry, with your fiddle, your hands with fiddle.
And my hat, yeah,
And
absolutely.
your hat, yeah.
Yeah. Who'd want to take a cello out in that condition?
But they did in Sheffield with the Sheffield carols. They
Okay.
had a cello, and
Yeah.
a lot like this sort of 100 years ago.
Hair around as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No melodeon.
Sure.
No melodeon.
Which is surprising, really, isn't it?
Mm.
And they sing "Remember Adam's Fall." I found
That's
the
the
music
song. Do you
to it,
want
but I
me to
can't
read the
remember it.
words of
Got
that
no
song?
memory
I've got
for
it
music.
here. Do you want me to read the words of the song?
No, you're all right, Mum. Unless Jerry knows the song. I can't remember the tune.
Remember Adam's fall. Oh,
No.
remember Adam's fall from heaven to hell. Remember Adam's fall, how he hath condemned all in hell perpetual, therefore to dwell.
Well, I don't think he did anything wrong, did he?
It's a little bit
Nice and jolly.
Oh, every verse is very repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll set that. Let's set that as some homework for Jerry to come back to our
Yes.
next meeting.
I
We
can't
want to
remember
set the
the
music.
tune. It's really annoying. I
Yeah.
was singing it this morning. Can you believe
Oh,
that?
yeah?
Yeah, blooming
How do
balls.
you know it?
I check these things up, Mum.
Oh, right.
I just know it.